Before we get into it, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has been a big part of my channel, a big part of its growth, and really of what I see as success. A lot of you guys have helped me along the way. From the very bottom of my heart, if you ever need anybody to talk to, play with, whatever, I'm here. You can message me just about anywhere. Hopefully YouTube can be a nice little, a bit more of a personal space. One thing that I know I enjoy is people's origin stories, how they got into gaming, how they got into their hobbies, streaming, whatever it may be. That interests me a lot. Hopefully it'll interest you guys enough to listen to me however long this video is going to be. Hopefully I've got enough here that you can kind of get a better perspective on who I am, because you guys have been a big part of me here lately, and you guys made 2018 probably the best year of my life. It was pretty incredible, and a lot of people would say, oh, you know, whatever, you didn't do that good, but I think I did, and I appreciate you guys ever so much. I will start out with just a little bit of backstory on, first off, how I got into gaming, and then we'll move on to how I got into streaming, and then we'll just go from there. Kind of a brief overview on who I am. I started when I was probably around 5 or 6, I believe. So it would have been about 2003 or 4. I had played a PlayStation, the original PlayStation, played a couple of games on there. The console was at my grandma's house, and we didn't go down there that often, but I know when we did, we usually loaded that up, my sister and I. And I kind of just thought, you know, when I was younger, I didn't really play video games. I didn't really know what they were, or wasn't that interested in them before that time. I was mostly like outside or inside playing with toys kind of guy. And once I started playing that, I liked it. I thought it was cool. So we did that, but it hadn't become, you know, like an everyday thing yet. I didn't own a console at that point. We moved on to the Xbox, and that was when I got my first console. So my cousin had his Xbox, and then I think he bought a PlayStation 2, and so we bought the Xbox off of him, the original Xbox, and that was my first console. I had started playing all kinds of games, Grand Theft Auto 3, and I believe Vice City were some big ones. I played a lot of that. I think I was like 7 years old, and I was playing GTA, so that was cool. It was really awesome to get into that. And I think it just started this little fire in me that was like, dude, this is sweet. Like, I can kind of be whoever I want to be in these games for the most part. And we moved on to PlayStation 2, and that's where I really fell in love with the games. Not just fell in love with the idea of them, but fell in love with the video games themselves. And those games are still with me to this day. I still have my PlayStation 2 behind the green screen, hooked up to a small TV with all my anime stuff. I still have all 3 Sly Coopers. I still have, to my knowledge, every single Ratchet and Clank released on PlayStation 2. I still have MX Unleashed, and I still have Burnout, the original. So I still have all my games, and we do play them every once in a while. It's extremely nostalgic to play those games because they seem so old when you load them up now, but they're so good. From there, I moved on to the Xbox 360. Now, this is where I had my first taste of online gameplay. it was a bit different because when this time had rolled around, um, I had met other kids who had played console games. And before the Xbox 360, it was the Wii, but there's not too much to talk about there. Anyways, that's when I had met kids who actually had consoles. And so, some of my best friends played, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. We can talk to each other, we can play with each other. And we stayed on Xbox 360 for, I want to say 5 years, maybe more, maybe less. I can't remember exactly, but I know that we spent a whole summer one time playing Minecraft on Xbox 360. One full summer, not kidding. There was days when we didn't get off. We spent a full summer playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies. Did not get off. We spent whole summers playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and regular Call of Duty multiplayer, and we would not get off. And those were the times when nothing could stop me. Nothing around me could pull me out of the game, I hated getting off. It was just being a kid, and it was amazing. And I don't think that I'll ever have quite another experience like that, unless by some miracle I made enough money, or I went full-time streaming or something to have enough time to do that, which is really sad. I hate to be morbid, but there's those times in your life where you have something and you look back on it later and you're like, man, I cannot believe we're not going to get to do that again. Out of the friends group, I was always the best, and when you're younger, it's not really looked upon good to be the best at like video games. You want to be like good at sports and stuff, for my friends group at least. So we never really talked about it that much, but it was just understood that I was one of the better ones, and that I spent more time playing games, and I loved them more than most people. And later on, they got Xbox Ones, but at that time, we were just stale in the games, and I think that's when games started kind of dwindling a little bit there. We're the new gen consoles. Everything started going downhill a little bit, in my opinion at least. Anyways, from there, I had finally had a laptop that could run Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and this was the game where Maddex started. This was the game that made me who I am, I guess. I think I played since 2014, so going on 5 years ago. My laptop was able to run Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and so I loaded it up for the first time. Started playing. I had a different name before Maddex, but I had seen Maddex with an O, and I thought, you know what, I want to put a new spin on this and make this my own name. And so I did. But yeah, I got a PC. We built it like probably 3 years ago now, and I played Counter-Strike for like 6 hours a day every day of my life for probably a year or two. I mean, we played the hell out of that game. There was rarely a time when we didn't play Counter-Strike, and I think I've streamed a little bit of it here and there. I'm definitely not as good as I used to be. I used to be really good. At one point, I had actually wanted to go pro in Counter-Strike, and I was willing to put 10 hours a day into the game, and I couldn't leave my friends behind. I couldn't do it. I had a friend who was playing, and he was pretty good too. It was just, he didn't want to put in the time, which I can totally understand. It's hard to do, and I just didn't do it. So that was really how I got up to this point. So it was console all the way until PC, and I've really never turned back except for PS4. And I rarely play this puppy. I hate to say it, but I do. Hopefully that'll change, because I want to do some more content, do some game reviews and stuff, but that's how I got here. So not too interesting, but good times nonetheless. So let's get into these questions real quick. So this ties into what I was saying earlier. What got you into streaming? Now, I had always been a YouTube guy. I always watched YouTube. I made a YouTube when I got my laptop. It's like every day I would come home from school, and like I said, we didn't play Xbox as much as we used to, so that's what I do. I'd watch YouTube. That's how I got started watching anime like 4 or 5 years ago. And it was weird because that's all I'd ever known. I didn't even know Twitch was the thing, which is funny. It's odd to say, but I had no idea what Twitch was. The first stream I had ever watched on Twitch was of Summit 1G, and I was like, dude, this is sweet. It's fucking sweet. And I just fell in love with it instantly. I was like, this is crazy. Watching somebody do it live was cool. And so really, Summit 1G got me into streaming. I think I have a 19 or 20 month free sub coming up to him. The next question was, why do you speedrun? So, as I had said, Summit was the first streamer I had ever watched. He's been my longest streamer that I've watched since the beginning. But I had moved on to watching Dark Souls, because I got into Dark Souls about a year ago. I was like, oh shit, this is sweet. I got into watching Dark Souls, and I came across this guy named the Happy Hob. He's just an infamous no-hit runner. He was trying to do the trilogy run, so he was trying to no-hit all 3 Dark Souls games in a row, and I had come along and I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And watching him for so long got me into like the mood, I guess. I just instantly wanted to jump onto it and like give it a shot, and so I did. And correction on that, the question was, why do you speedrun? I've only done one speedrun, and it's of Resident Evil 7, as some of you may know. We'll go back to that, because I'm going to do some stuff with console crashers, maybe some races and stuff like that. But that's why he got me into it, and I've fallen in love with it. Challenge runs are kind of a way to bring something fun and different into a stream, and it's that want and that need to beat it. For speedrunners, it's the race against time. For no-hit runners, it's trying to just beat the hell out of the game. I mean, literally, the game, if you get hit one time, it's over. So it's just so cool to do that, in my opinion. I think it's one of the hardest things you could ever do on a game. I think that when I do get done with it, I'll give myself a little break from challenge runs, but I'll definitely go back, because if there's anything I'd like to be known for, that would be sweet. But yeah. And the next question was, would you do strat videos for Dark Souls? And I'll tell you what, I would love to do strat videos for Dark Souls if I was a better player. Now, if you guys want like basic Dark Souls 3 tips, let me know, in the video in the comments, and I'm sure I can throw something together. Once I get the no hit run done, I will definitely 100% be down to make strat videos, but until then I'd have to do like basic stuff, because the things that I've learned have been siphoned off from other people and rehashed in my own way. For the most part, there are a few things that I've come up with on my strategies. Other than that, it's a lot of rehashing from other people. Is there anything that you would change about your stream? Not really. Now, I would change the amount of effort that I put into the streams. And what I mean by that is, for the people who have been here for a very, very long time, they know that I'm a very chill, calm, laid-back person. Sometimes I get angry, but other than that, it's nothing too crazy. And sometimes I put too little effort. I'm too calm. I'm too this, too that. And I think I need to find a good balance and just put a little bit more effort into the streams, because you guys deserve a lot more than what I put out at this current moment. If I want my channel to grow, if I want something, I have to go out and do it and make it happen. And I think that's a promise that I'm going to keep. I had said it in a previous stream that, I want to do more. And I think that's something that I'm going to do. So I would change the amount of effort that I put in, because you guys deserve more as viewers, friends, and some of you even say that you're fans. I don't really approve of that term, but I appreciate it. What do you want out of streaming? Now, I think a lot of people's goal would be to make a lot of money and do it as their job. Now, I would literally give the world to have this as my job, to do Twitch as my job, YouTube, a combination of the two. I don't know what I would give, but anything, obviously. But for me, the best feeling in the world when it comes to streaming is setting down, loading up a stream, not only enjoying yourself, but have other people voice their opinions of enjoyment. When somebody says, I'm their favorite streamer, I've had a few people say that I'm one of their favorites. That means the world to me. It's incredible for people to want to come home or get off work or wake up, blah, 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 watch me before bed, whatever. It's ridiculous. I would have never thought that anybody would enjoy what I do at all. And I've always said that the craziest part about Twitch is that people will take the time out of their day and they give it to you. I'll always stand by that, because it is insane. And I think that's all I'd ever want. Even if I never broke 1,000 viewers, or my average was never enough to get a partnership, or we were the biggest streamer on Twitch, or whatever the case may be, as long as people enjoy the stream, they enjoy their time, I enjoy myself. I just want people to think, I could come back, I could return, and I'd enjoy myself, and I think it'd be worth it. That's my goal. The day that I have to stop streaming, be it a year, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, would to become partner. That would be my end goal. You could have a superpower of your choice. Which and why? If I could have a superpower of my choice, which and why? Controlling time. Controlling time would probably be my superpower. I think that being able to control time would not only benefit you, but other people depending on how you decided to utilize that power. But I just think being able to control time, go back, go forward, whatever, slow it down would be just amazing. That'd be super sweet. Another question was game preferences. I am a huge fan of open world RPG games. Skyrim did that to me. Sly Cooper did that to me. Sly Cooper, the third one, it had like a bunch of open world. It's really sweet. Sometimes you could just do whatever you wanted. My plans for this channel, this YouTube channel, are to put, like I said, a little bit more personal, time taken content on here. Give you guys an idea of who I am, what my goals are, and some of the things that I like on here. I want to try to do some game reviews. Not that it's going to go anywhere. I don't really plan on it to go anywhere. I want to try to do some kind of voice acting, maybe like a non webcam podcast where it's just my voice and like a video or some gameplay, or I don't know, something written on the screen. With that, there's nothing else that I can think of that needs to be said other than thank you from the very bottom of my heart. You guys have been just amazing with the support, the love. You guys come by my channel all the time. Twitch has just been too good to me, and hopefully YouTube will be at least half as good. I don't care how many subs we have, I don't care how many views we get, as long as I see people in the comments or in my DMs like saying, hey, that was a cool video, I really liked it, thank you so much, or, you know, try this, try that. Constructive things would be cool. I need to work on sharpening up the green screen, obviously. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.